as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all the smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Bartes!
1862 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collinwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Oh, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the Bladen races.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again tonight, and I've got a special guest because Toon is not here. Rule is unavailable. I've got American Mag, aka Jimmy.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. I mean, the weather looks pretty out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, 50 degrees. Can't complain. I mean, it's a lot better than what you have there.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I tell you what, we'll show us there as well, man, because at the end of the day, we do some warm weather, and this country has been -5, -6 up in Scotland's -11. So
yeah,
it's not great, isn't it? So, well, I mean, look, well, thanks for coming, Jimmy. It's your first time. And guys, if you like the video, like what you see, give it a like, hit the subscribe button. And now I've got 4K subscribers. So thank you very much indeed, people. And I really appreciate that as well. So we've got to find out about you, Jimmy. And, you know, you've been a Newcastle fan for quite a while. What's been your favourite moments being a Newcastle fan?
My favorite moment was my first match at St. James, April 15th, 2002. My best friend took me over as a birthday present. And then once I got there, I had tickets, but a guy who was the fire chief, as we would call him here in America, gave me 2 hospitality passes. And that was my first experience there. We got we went up 1-0 against Manchester United. Kieran Dyer scored the goal, and Manchester United went on to score the next 7. But I got to meet Alan Shearer. That's my favorite moment. I'll never forget it. And I've been back 5 times since then. Haven't been since my accident, but I'm hoping to make a trip over there next year. I need to go back.
Need to go back. Cool, cool. Yeah, I mean, look, you got to come back soon, lad, because the thing is, sir, I mean, the tickets are just so impossible to get at Newcastle United since the takeover, and everyone's scrambling for tickets. Every time there's some general sales comes up, it's always sold out. And also as well that people on social media asking any spares, any spares, any spares. And it's just so difficult to get. Even the Bournemouth game for the cup game sold out. I mean, it goes to show, Jimmy, it goes to show that Newcastle United are back on the up again. I mean, we've got our club back and fans will turn up because we're doing so well.
Yeah. I mean, the takeover, I mean, it's funny how everyone despised it at the time, but now you look at the so-called cartel clubs, they're all trying to find Middle Eastern money, and the things we're accused of doing is now something that's going to be commonplace with the cartel clubs. They need money. Where's the money? America and Middle East. And as much as, you know, we bang on the American owners, and rightfully so, there are, I would say there are the Middle Eastern owners that will be coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I think the model that they bring in will be much the same as the American model. It's
Yeah.
going to be about money. They're going to want quick results, and they will possibly be more aggressive than the American owners.
Mm.
You're seeing now what could be a complete shift in the financial governance of football. Like I said, the money is in the Middle East, and they will spend. The whole region. The one thing that they can all agree on is sport. Sport is king.
Mm.
If you want to, and especially since a lot of them are moving away from the oil-based, um, money and turning to tourism.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what better way to do it than sport, sport washing, which
Mm.
was a term
Mm.
thrown around when we were taking over, but seems to be commonplace now with the other clubs.
Yeah.
Bunch of fucking hypocrites, if you ask me. But
Yeah.
but
See
I
what you
love
mean,
it.
man. Yeah.
I love it. We are we are completely changing the
Yeah.
way football is done around the world.
I agree. I tell you what, this is why the American owners was to sell Man U and Liverpool, but that's for another time. Let's go on for this
Yeah.
comments as well. And by the way, guys, if you like the video, like what you see, give it a like, subscribe, and I'm on 4K. If you like the super chat, it's open. Just give what the channel is worth. And if you'd like to become a member, then it's exactly what to do, or just post the link out. It's on live on top of the chat. Just click on that. It's 99p. I should do in a competition because I'm not going to Newcastle Fulham game. So I will be giving that together where if you become a member for just 99p and your name will be in the hat as well. Let's go for the comments. Big up to Lee. Thank you, Lee. Good evening. Newcastle Gaming's live tomorrow. It is indeed. I like coffee. Good evening for Unai Emery. Evening, John, Jimmy, and the chat. Well done, for here. Thanks so much, Steve. I really appreciate that, mate. And thank you very much indeed, Spencer, as well. What we want to talk about, we're talking about transfer update. Yeah, the players will be linked within the couple of days today. And according to reports, and multiple reports today, I don't know if I'm going to leave this, like that Kvaratskhelia for Napoli's been linked with us. Now, this guy, right, is already joined them in the summer for 10 million quid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a market value of a whopping 80 million pounds. Yeah.
Almighty.
Napoli, right? I mean, will not sell. In my opinion, they will not sell. I know people are saying that money talks, but I could be, in my opinion, I don't think that deal's going to happen because, in my opinion, De Laurentiis, the Napoli president, will not let him go, not in the middle of their title race, yeah, and there's absolutely no way. And what's your take on the player? I think this guy's fantastic. He's got 12 goals, but the total, 6 goals, 7 assists, 16 direct goal contributions. The Georgian internationals having a stellar season at Napoli. And what do you think of this guy? And I tell you what, how far can you go?
God, and don't forget he's got 2 goals in 6 Champions League matches.
Yeah,
I
very
mean,
true.
the guy's big time. And the thing, I'm with you. I don't think we'll get him. But you look at what all we're linked with, and you have to wonder, okay, are we gonna bring in the big players and completely destroy the wage structure, or are we gonna keep on the Ashworth plan, young talent, good players at a good price? It's a hard, it's I think we'll go with stick with the Ashworth plan, but you have to scratch your head with all these players that we're linked in with. Even if we bring in one, what's that going to do to the wage structure? I mean, Bruno's the top dog.
Yeah, he will be with
and these players aren't cheap that we're looking at. But going back to the player you first discussed, and I am not going to pronounce his name because my southern accent won't allow me. So I'll just call him Special K.
Yeah.
I mean, he would be amazing. Yeah, but that's one that's we're probably a good year or two away from something like that.
Yeah.
I like the plan we're on. Let's just stick to Madison and then go from there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Excuse me. No, what it is, right, Jimmy, what it is, right? I mean, this guy his record's been fantastic. He's so direct, he's skillful, he's quick for a guy who's 6'1", and he can also play as a 10, he plays second striker. This guy has got it all. I mean, Napoli's done well to get this guy, to bring this guy in as well, to Stadio Diego Maradona. They call him Kvaratskhelia, not Kvaratskhelia, it's called Maradona, because he's taking Lorenzo Insigne's place. And I tell you something, he has done so damn well. And I tell you what, he's only 22, and this kid's just going to get better and better and better. And you know what it is, right? I mean, for one, I wouldn't mind having him at all. I mean, if we do get him right in the summer, that's going to put massive pressure on Alan Saint-Maximin. Big pressure.
Yes.
Big pressure.
If they were to get that, I couldn't imagine Maxi sticking around. We would have to cash in on Maxi. I mean, we're gonna have to get used to the fact that a lot of players that we loved over the years there are going to be pushed out, and it's only a matter of time for me. And I hate to say it, because I absolutely love the guy, but I see Maxi eventually being pushed out.
Which is a shame, because I'm a big Alan fan. I'm a big Alan fan. The problem with him this season, right, he's been good this season. He's not been bad. I'm not going to lie. This is a massive season for Alan, because this is going to be a big one where he's going to cope in anyhow team. I mean, I'm championing this guy. I want him to succeed. He's fantastic with the community. He's great with the people. He always talks to people all the time. Now, the problem is, right, I mean, like, the thing is, out of Kavara or Alan, at the minutes this season, I'd take Kvaratskhelia all day long, because this guy is just absolutely magic. He's skillful. He's on his feet. He's just amazing, Jimmy. He really, really is. I watched him, and I'm just so excited to watch this kid. I mean, he's got an end product to his game. He tracks back and help out as well. That's what I love about him. And he is worth, in my opinion, he is worth every single penny, because it was after this guy called Rudik as well for Shakhtar, which I'm going to come on to later. But the thing as well, I think if I'm giving him, I'd take him all day long.
Well, you have the great advantage of being able to watch French football. We have 1 million streaming networks, and we can get every league in the world. But for some reason, we can't get French football here, and it's a shame because you could get these companies could get French football on the cheap.
Exactly.
They're desperate for any type of exposure in America, and there are so many great players, so many great teams, and we get to miss out. Quite frankly, because I hate to say it, we're inundated with MLS, and I'm an Atlanta United fan, but Jesus Christ, I mean,
Mhm.
I would rather watch the French league than MLS. So
Yeah.
we don't get to see a lot of these players over there, and that's sad. But let me ask you this: would you have if we couldn't get Special K, as I'm gonna call it? I mean,
I'd say
they've got a lot of players there. Do you think they would offload Osman?
absolutely, absolutely. Let's go through the comments as well. Big up to this one, Alan as well, and even John Rich, well done. Thank you very much indeed, Alan. Really appreciate that. Congrats on 4 here. Regards, Roger. Big up to you, Roger. Thank you so much indeed. And I cannot pronounce that name, Keith. The next comment as well. But I've never heard of this guy, never ever heard of him. But Rio Guardiol, the centre back, I take him all day long. Steve as well. Big up to you, Steve. Hope you're okay, mate. We need another Miggy, but on the left, who can cross like trips. ASMS, PS, and we'll frighten most defence on the end product. ASMS has been priced at 50 mil. If someone wants to pay, let him go. Would you let him go? Would you let him go for 50 million?
Let who go? How?
ASM.
Yes, but whoever gets them would be getting a hell of a steal.
That,
I think you can easily get 60.
yeah.
I mean, you have a team out there. You have Tottenham that would they're salivating at the thought of possibly getting him. There are teams out there that would kill to have an ASM. I wouldn't let them go at 50. I think we can do better.
I mean, the thing is, though, all right. I mean, let's put it this way, right? I mean, for me personally, I still keep ASM. I would definitely keep him for me because, honestly, it could be an absolute world beater.
Yeah.
But on most days, he's not Kvaratskhelia. Let's be real, in my opinion. But it's a tough one to call. It's a really tough one to call. But I think a lot of fans here are split. They really have been split. And look, at this moment in time, we've got to have to wait and see what happens. But there's a lot of people saying they should keep him. There's a lot of people saying they should sell him. But going back to Keith's comments, it's first to possibly join Newcastle. I don't know a lot about. I know he's a big guy, 6'5", and also as well, Keith, he does play for I believe he's Osijek as well, and he's out on loan. He was on loan Istra as well. He's banging 15 goals in 34 games, and that's in the Croatia league. So, look, we don't mind talent. That's no problems at all. Big up to Gary D. I hope you're okay, mate. And I hope you're fine. ASM lacks efficient and a pile of quality players ahead of him, not to mention injuries every few weeks. And that's another thing, yeah. And by the way, we come from ASM, right? Guys in the chat, 25 people watching live, thank you very much indeed. Would you take Kvaratskhelia or Kvaradona if he's available in Napoli? Me personally, I don't think he'd be going this season because they got a title list as well at Napoli. I don't think De Laurentiis will allow him to sell. I know they pay 10 mil. They know they can get big money. Also, Real Madrid and PSG wants to play out as well, but he will not be, in my opinion. I don't think he'd be going anywhere until the summer at least, but he is being credited as well for a cracking season, and that's by the Georgian international there. Big up to William, by the way. Hope you're okay, mate. Anyone wants to know where Tony is tonight? He is out tonight with his other half. I wish Tony a fantastic evening. And by the way, I'll be at Newcastle tomorrow for a week, so check us out. That's all about Trossard. He is class. Let's touch on that, Jimmy. Trossard for Brighton. He's got market value. He's out of contract at the end of the season, but he can sign an extension if he wants to. It's probably around about 30 million quid. Would you take him?
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. The guy's, he oozes with class. And he's young. What is it exactly? his market value right now? Did you say it?
Yeah, I say around 30 million quid, but I will chat up in a bit. But if he's got 18 months left on his contract, I think Brighton would probably want 30, 40 million quid. But he's got 18 months left technically, but he's technically also out of contract at the end of the season. So that's going to be very interesting to see.
Well, if he does sign the extension, I mean, I could see him doing that. Just for the fact that Brighton would probably want it as a little protection. They guarantee a higher price for him. Which is what you usually see with these footballers that do it. You know, the club gets to sell them on for a little. You know, they're still interested in leaving, but you know, to help the club out, tack on an extra $5 million on its transfer, or you know. But I'd love to have him. Love to have him.
Yeah, he's out of contract.
And I think that's the market we need to be going for right now.
Yeah, I think so. You don't need to spend a lot of money. You can get some freebies. I mean, Jay Manson, I mean, what a ridiculous 60 million quid for this guy. Let's be real. And I still feel pay for it. But at the end of the day, if you get Champions League, then I think James will fancy it, but it'll come to him in a bit. Lads, what about Trotter? His class, we read that. I will say ASM, he's only fit for half the season. In fact, that's from Paul. Big shout. Even in Portugal, Fernando Santos, he has to be signed. He has indeed. Oh, yeah, the match tomorrow, John. I'm afraid not. I'm at the match. I'm at Newcastle tomorrow. We're going to the match tomorrow, but I'm definitely going on Tuesday, and I'll be doing the vlog as well for the first time. So please check us out if you see us. And if you want a quick interview with us, I'll be happy to do that as well. So apart from the vlog. So I'll be up tomorrow, but not in the match, unfortunately. Anything good cross. Miggy's goal for City. He just really produces great ones. That's from Jackie B. I can call him Jackie B because he's a great guy. Big up to Man United fan. Timur, big up to you. And I tell you what, he likes Macy as well. And Macy is my favourite podcaster as well. And Paul as well. John, Blizzard's forecast between 9 p.m. and 10:30 a.m. on Saturday in Northeast. Drive carefully. Keith, thank you very much indeed for that, mate. Thank you so much. And I will take my time. I'm not going to be rushing at all whatsoever. Can't spell name, John, but definitely take that Napoli player. Still want Madison as well. Guarantee we'll that deal done. And we all know he wants to come to Newcastle. I mean, look, I think if we put enough money up for James Madison, then listen, let's be real. And he'll come to Newcastle because we're an ambitious club. And we're going to touch on James Madison. And he's another one that's been linked with us as well. And in the past, that's not going away. Leicester is still standing 60 million offer. He's got 18 months left on his contract, and he's English. Again, would you take him as well? Would you take him at Newcastle United? And if you do, where would you park him?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I would definitely take him. That's where would you park him? That's another reason why you sign him, because with him you get so many options to where you can play him. He's like the Swiss Army knife. Just plug him in wherever you need, and he's gonna produce. The guy, once again, is class, and I love versatile players that are able to step out and play another position and still excel at it. But wherever Eddie decides to park him, that's a tough call because you got a lot of players right now on good form that you bring him in, somebody's got to sit. But it's great that we're having these conversations now because we never had them under Ashley.
Yeah, that's why we got you on here, mate. That's why we got you on here because you're very, very knowledgeable in Newcastle United, and that's why we got you on, my guy. So, and it's just that really, Mr. America as well. And go goes to a console. We've got to come and change my opinion. I don't think Madison will come until the summer, but you have 2 months left on his contract. John, Jimmy, who do you rate the better player, Madison or ASM?
Madison.
Yeah.
But they give you, it's, it's not a dig at ASM, because ASM gives you something that Madison doesn't, and that's out and out, blazing, ankle breaking speed. Madison just has the finished product.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing separating. There's so many things that I'm sure Madison looks at ASM and goes, wow, I wish I could do that. But, if ASM had 50% of the finishing capability that Madison had, he probably wouldn't be in that Newcastle right now. He'd probably be sitting in Madrid or somewhere.
Yeah, that is the thing, man. That is the thing. But look, I mean, I think Manson's got a better end product as well to his game. And ASM, I mean, look, he needs a season with Eddie, but he's been out injured. But he should be playing tomorrow in a preseason friendly against Vallecano. Yeah. So, thanks for that, Steve, for that question, mate. Manson, by far consistent every single season. That's in Paul. ASM needs more time development in this game under Eddie. Not so long ago, everyone was saying Miggy had no end product. That's very true, Chris. That's very, very true. Yeah. I mean, that's true, because what it is, when Miggy played, he had no end product to his game. I mean, his confidence looked a wee shot. I didn't know what position he was going to play anymore. Eddie actually turned him into a fantastic player. And you know what? I went to the Southampton game, right, away from home, and I tell you what, watched him closely, and this guy is absolutely fantastic. He really, really, really is.
This is the Miggy I saw back in 2018 with Atlanta when they won the title. This is the Miggy I got to see every week at the game, and it's so nice to see that, because he's always been a player. He got bruised, and thank God Eddie has come in and showed everybody that there is a player in that. And I'm so happy for him, because he had the city of Atlanta, wrapped around his finger while he was here. Him and Joseph Martinez, and they were so fun to watch. And I'm just glad for all of his Biggie's success right now. I mean, it's just watching how the city has embraced him now after his struggles early on. It's a good thing. And I mean, that smile, it's nice to see that smile wasn't lost under Bruce.
Exactly. And I'll tell you something now, right? I mean, he is so happy. I mean, he's our player of the season by a country mile, Miggy. No doubt about it. But you haven't seen the best of Miggy yet. I can guarantee you there's more to come from this guy, because he's just going to get better and better. Even at 20, he's coming on 29s as well. So it's never too late. And I'll tell you what, he is producing it week in, week out. So big up to Miggy, by the way. He gets a 9 out of 10 every single week. And that is the thing. So, Steve's got an interesting point in a minute. But first of all, Keith, big up Keith, by the way. Kvaratskhelia out of Napoli looks really good, but I doubt we get James Maddison. I'll get one of the two. I mean, if we get one of them in the summer, then we're not going to get the other. That is the thing. We get both players, I'll be happy at that. No doubt about it. You both say Madison's better player. So do you think 60 mil for Madison, ASM price at 50 mil? Do you think Madison underpriced or ASM overpriced due to only 10 million difference? You know what? It's both the positions, Steve. Yeah, both different positions. So I like ASM. I'm a fan, right? But he's got to do it every single week first, you know what I mean? But on this day, right, I mean, he's got to do it, do you know what I mean? And Eddie will work his magic around him, yeah? But as for Madison, I mean, 60 million quid, he's got 18 months left up the contract, and he may not get 60 mil, but we know Madison's a cracking player. What's your take on that, Tony? No, not Tony. What's your take, Jimmy?
I think both of them are fairly priced My thing at Madison, I mean, after reading this week that apparently Leicester are 60 million over FFP right now. Can't remember where I read that, and they must sell. I'm just wondering how that's going to affect the price on Madison. I don't think it'll be 60 million if it goes. I think a good offer and they would take it.
Yeah. I've been in need to. I think Leicester are still fighting relegation, are they? They're not quite safe yet, so you need to keep James as well. And you know, if they do that, cool. So, guys, if you like the video, like what you see, then give it a like, give us a subscribe as well. Hit the subscribe button as well. I've now got over 4K. And if you like the super chat, then click on the $sign and just give what the channel is worth. And if you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. And also, we're doing a competition, giving a ticket away between Newcastle and Fulham. And the thing is, though, you have to remember first, because I will be able to go to that game. So, yeah, so think about being a common member. Got some more comments as well. Got Foxy in the house. He's legendary. Foxy, great guy. If you love South American football, he is your guy. What's up, guys? Hope you had a good time in Italy, John. I had a wonderful time, mate. Wonderful time.
Whatever. I'm so jealous.
Bergamo. I know. But look, at the end of the day, right? I mean, like, I love Italy, you know that. And I've done the San Siro Stadium Museum tour, so do check out on that. So it's out there. Do check that out as well. Hit the likes as well, please. And great to see you, legend Jimmy. So Foxy's a good guy. And I'm sure you both get on well with him. How much is Miggy's worth in his current form a day? For me personally, and the way he is, he's got, I say for me, I think he's got to be worth at this present time. Oh, it's a tough one. Has he got 18 months left on his contract? I tell you, that is the thing. So on current form, I don't see why we can get like 30 million for this guy. That's my opinion. 30 million and the rest.
I think he could go for 45.
45 mil.
I think he'd go for 45. I think there are a couple of Spanish teams that wouldn't mind having that. A little Mickey in their squad.
Yeah.
Just seeing what they're paying for players at Barcelona and whatever that aren't as good as Mickey right now. La Liga would suit him perfect. I really do think that.
I think you do well.
But I'm not pushing him out the door right now. But yeah, he is definitely, his price has shot up. If they were to sell him, they would definitely double their money at least. But I don't want Miggy to go anywhere.
Exactly.
You need players like Miggy in the dressing room.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys in the chat, tell us about Toon Kvaratskhelia. Is he worth 80 million? Would you take him at Newcastle in the summer? And also, would you rather have him? And that means getting rid of ASM to bring him in. Would you take that? Just leave in the comments section down below, please. Excuse me. And don't think anyone had said ASM was worth 50 mil, especially with his injuries. I tell you what, though, he's going to buy him. That is the thing. But I hope we keep him, in my opinion. And we got to Gary. Thanks, Gary. I appreciate that, man. Thanks so much for doing, my man. This is fantastic. Word of Toon. Get Christian Pulisic. Thoughts? Would you take him as well?
Here we go now.
Your company. Your
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go on this one. What he needs is the arm of Eddie Howe around him. Two players, and this is my biased American coming out, is I would love to make a run for Anthony Robinson and Fulham, especially 25 mil. And you could get Pulisic for at least 20 million less that Chelsea paid for him.
Mm.
Eddie Howe is a miracle worker, and that's what he needs. Now, to bring him in, he would really have to grind it out because he would not have a guaranteed spot. I do not think Pulisic would have a guaranteed spot in that team, for starters. But he would get a run, and he would get to the point. Eddie would get him to the point where he could be a starter on that team. But right now, his confidence is shot from this whole Chelsea experience. He needs to get the hell out of there, get with a coach that knows how to develop young players. I mean, my God, the guy, he's been around the U.S. team since 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like he scored his first goal at 17 for the U.S. team. And he's, my opinion, he should have stayed at Dortmund. But at the time, I can understand making the move, and it's just time for him to get the hell out. And what better place for me than Newcastle and the miracle worker that is Eddie Howe?
Yeah, I think that sounds like a plan. I mean, look, Eddie Howe's a cracking manager. We know that. And he turns average players into star players, you know what I mean? And done it with Miggy, and he's done it with Joe Linton, and he's done it to a few players as well. So, look, big up. Thanks for that question there, Keith. We'll go some more comments. Big up to Steve as well. Hi to you. This is the wife and kids, so we watch the show later. But I thought I'd drop into the chat and say congrats on 4K, Steve. Thank you so much indeed. Share the love to you, mate. We've got Aussie Matt as well. Big up to you, mate. Congrats on 4K. Thank you very much indeed. I appreciate that. And Keith, how do you spell that name for Napoli? Bet you Googled it. That's a hard name to spell. Not seen or heard of Kvaratskhelia. Just call him for Kvaratskhelia. May as well say that as well. I think Biggie will be getting a new contract if he keeps on the back of the net, John. I hope he does. If that's the case, I really hope he does. I really do. And he'd be an asset for Newcastle. And keeps chatting to Wayne. Miggy should never be up for sale. His work ethic is smart, and now his own product means he has a future in Newcastle. Tanchi, absolutely spot on. Thank you very much indeed for that. Thank you. John, I forgot to say congrats on 4K. Wayne, thank you very much indeed. I appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much indeed. What's Jimmy's take on Gio Reyna and Greg Berhalter issues? Seems very strange to see him get a lack of playing time of the World Cup.
Well, Greg Berhalter, for starters, is the dumbest son of a bitch that ever has coached the national team. We don't, because of Greg Berhalter, there was an incident with the national team in Nashville where Weston McKennie and a couple others, they got suspended for breaking curfew. Now, McKennie was kind of slapped on the wrist, had a couple of game suspension, no problem. Back on the team. Our starting center back at the time, John Brooks, was also one of the players who broke curfew. Hasn't seen 1 minute of playing time since that incident. Absolutely just the stupidest decision. He would have been our starting center back. He would have Walker Zimmerman would have been on the bench, and remember Zimmerman's the one who committed the foul that led to the penalty against was it Wales? Wales. And
first game.
John Brooks doesn't make that mistake, and so our best center back is being left out because of a dispute with the manager, in which Reyna's not the only one who's had a dispute. There's been quite a few. And I don't think he's the manager to lead us forward. Gio Reyna absolutely should have been on that pitch without a shadow of a doubt. Stop. I mean, you're playing useless, over the hill, no talent MLS players in his place, which makes absolutely no sense. Jordan Morris shouldn't be an option on any national team. But he puts it. Bergeron puts him in. He's an idiot. We need to go after a good European manager for 2028. And Gio definitely should be in that starting 11. And the only reason he's not is because our manager is holding a grudge.
That's typical. That's the problem. Do you know what I mean? You got to look after your top player, sort of thing, and simple as that. But I don't know what's going to happen to him after the World Cup. Is he gonna walk away from the job until 2026 when you host the World Cup, or you're gonna get someone else in? Perhaps you just don't know.
It's if you're believing what you're saying, it's split 50-50. The federation on whether to bring him back or go for another name.
I tell you what, though, they do pay the coaches well in America, but they expect results very, very quickly. That is the thing. So, tough people in Americans, and they want the best. Let's move on to more comments as well. And the weather's awesome. Where Jimmy is? Where are you at, Jimmy?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Beautiful.
Yes.
The home of golf, eh? The golf.
Right down. Yeah. It's about an hour and a half away.
Great stuff. I would love Pulisic. I've always said that you think he'd be a great player on the Eddie, and Keith Nout, the man of that name. Pulisic is too injury prone. That's the Tangi. And do you think that Karius will get a new contract and Darlow sword? For me, Carlos, I think Karius will be there at the end of the season. And I hope Darlow finds a new club, because I really do. This is another thing. This is why no one's been linked to this keeper at all whatsoever, because he's on 60 grand a week. That is down to the stupidity of Mike Ashley giving him that long contract.
Yeah. Typical of a lot of useless contracts that were given out by Ashley. I don't see Darlow sticking around much longer. He'd be a good keeper. He'd be a good keeper at championship level. But he's just. I know keepers tend to peak later on in age, but I just don't. We need to bring in another younger keeper for the future.
I say so.
And that's the thing. The one thing Americans, for some reason, can't develop a damn striker, even though we have all these damn people here, and we can't develop a striker. But we do a pretty good job with goalkeepers.
Yeah, we do.
And we got a lot of good young goalkeepers over here that will probably be heading abroad for really cheap. And I've always been an advocate of just you don't trust a lot of American players, but you can generally trust the goalkeepers.
Absolutely. Karius and Darlow competing for number 2 spot is healthy for them both. I think it's more about getting rid of Gillespie, and he's out of contract at the end of the season as well. So you may as well, without no disrespect to Mark, you may as well just go back to Scotland where he's made his name in Motherwell sort of thing, or try to go back there sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? No disrespect, but we're going to be a top club, and Gillespie will not get us Champions Leagues, winning titles. Not for me whatsoever. Another player I want to go with, so I'm going to say the last one, and who plays for the World Cup, right? There's two of them, two Moroccan players, right? One of them is Amrabat, and the other player is a young lad called Nane, if I can pronounce his name right. Let's get his name up. Unahi. And they're both Moroccan internationals playing in the World Cup. They both had fantastic performances there as well. You got Unahi, 22-year-old. He plays for Angers in the French league, right? He's rated 39 million quid. That's his market value, by the way. And also got Amrabat as well, plays for Fiorentina. That guy is absolutely fantastic in the midfield. If we kind of get James Madison, I think Amrabat will be a better option, but he's got to be creative as well. I think box to box, that means Bruno could go further forward. It needs to be. So it could be a 4-2-3-1. You just never know. And have Amrabat and Joe Linton and Holden role.
Yeah, two great players that had great World Cups, but the pessimist side of me is I never trust signing players after a World Cup because you may get hold of Almas Rodriguez, who had a great World Cup and has been shit ever since. His entire reputation, everything was built on that World Cup, and he did absolutely nothing after that. Well, that's kind of unfair. He did a little bit, but nothing to garner, the price that was paid after World Cup. I'm always leery about people who, like, out of names that weren't exactly household, really show up at the World Cup. I'd kind of like a little more, I guess, a little more information on them other than just the World Cup.
Yeah. Fair enough. They got to do it. They got to do it for the leagues as well. What they do in the World Cup, they step up. What they do for the clubs, they got to do exactly the same, but do better for the club than the World Cup as well. I get you want to win the World Cup. I get it, but you have to perform where you put on the shirt, whether it is with your national team or your club team. You got to perform every single week. It's as simple as that. I think Fraser and a few others who leave in January, but wages may be a problem. Carlos says, Saka, what are you talking? Darlow's on 60k. Murphy's on 60k. This Fraser is on 80k a week. And that is the problem. Again, that is down to Ashley's stupidity again and offering that 5-year deal. 80k a week. Is loving that. But for me personally, I mean, Southampton wants him, right? And I said that about a month ago, a couple weeks ago, that on my transfer update on the recorded one, I said that he's been linked to Southampton as well. I hope they come back for him, do you know what I mean? And just say, you know what? He's got to take a pay cut just to get games. For me personally, I'd rather play games rather than just sit on the bench. And these players now are just so damn clever, right? I mean, they're professional footballers, right? Not professionals, bench warmers, you know what I mean? Go out and get some games, play some games, you know what I mean? It ain't going to be at Newcastle, and that's the thing. I like Ryan, but not for me now.
That's a tough call, because I'm looking at it. You're telling me I can make. I'm never, going to be considered a world-class footballer, and you're paying me $80K a week to sit on the damn bench, and I'm never really going to be considered a great footballer. I'm taking that damn money. You're going to have to, you're going to have to pry me off the bench because I ain't going nowhere. That'd be me. I'm just like, God, 80 grand a week. That is insane for somebody that does nothing. Granted, I do nothing too. I do nothing too, but still, I don't get 80K a week.
Exactly. We're not going to have a Winston Bergard at all whatsoever. Remember him at Chelsea? He's had a 4-year deal and never played one game for Chelsea. Winston Bergard, right? Came for Barcelona. Never kicked the ball of him in anger. Never kicked the bar. He was just quite happy sitting on the bench and fleeced Chelsea. Jesus Christ, man, on a bike. Come on. I mean, nah, Chelsea got fleeced big time. Mbappe, Amrabat, and Amrabat was having none of it, steamrolled him. Yeah, I saw that tackle. Wow, that's a beautiful tackle. Gillespie is just a third choice keeper. He never risky play any type of competitive game unless we have serious injury issues. Not easy to get a top keeper who's happy to be third choice. Fair comment. And Foxy also added, James Rodriguez, good player, decent career, but physically very fragile. His route to Madrid in terms of trophies and success, but him on the field was a complete flop, and that is the thing. That is the problem. He's too fragile. Everything got mugged off as well, by the way. I'm not going to lie. When they bought him, that was a big gamble, which he started well, but at the end of the day, it just fell off a cliff. Simple. If an offer of 20, 30 million came in for Callum, would you take the 20 to 30 million quid for Callum? Would you take it? 30 years old?
Would I take it? Who else do we have in reserve? Have we signed better, a quality enough striker that would be able to take his place? I would take it under, if knowing that we had somebody to come in, because the injuries are just, I mean, you're saying, with Pulisic, he has injury issues, but he's still young. A lot of questions also about the sports science and physios at Chelsea. There are more than a couple players that are complaining about some of the things they do there for treatment. That was something that Pulisic has come out and say he doesn't agree with all the treatment, and he chooses to come back to the United States. But yeah, if Wilson would be willing to stay on as a backup, I say maybe we could keep him. But I don't think Wilson will enjoy being a backup to anybody. So if you could get 30, if we had a quality replacement in, I would say yes.
Exactly. Got Isak as well, can do a job. So I like Isak. I think Isak's brilliant. Once he gets to hit the ground running in the Premier League, that guy will be absolutely brilliant. I really do think that as well, because he's skillful, he's quick, and okay, he should have scored against Palace, but that's by the by. It's gone now. You have to get on when he comes back. And we've gone for the players. We went to Kvaratskhelia, we went through Madison, we went through a few players. ASM, could he be on the move? Miggy, should he get a new contract? Also as well, and Pulisic as well. Do you think Pulisic should join Newcastle? But we've got to be careful here, because most of the players mentioned are injury prone, and that is the thing. But Pulisic on this day, when he's match fit, for me personally, I think he'll be a cracking player. I really, really do. Will Wilson make it to the next World Cup? He'll be 34. I doubt it, mate. I doubt it. Just ask a question, because I have a feeling that some clubs will inquire about Wilson in future windows. I can understand what you mean. I could totally, because at the end of the day, we could be getting better strikers through the door, maybe in a couple of seasons' time. But I've gone back to Kvaratskhelia. Newcastle will look at him for the next 2 windows, not just this window, but in the summer as well. They kind of get him Jan, which I doubt they will. In the summer, they're going to have to pay big bucks to price them away from Napoli. That ain't going to be easy, by the way. Got to go, people. Have a fantastic Christmas. Keith and you as well, mate. We'll be back again live soon. So just keep watching us, mate. So just if I give you one player, all right, I mean, we've got to talk about Mudik as well quickly. That'll be the last one. Mudik plays for Shakhtar Donetsk. We've seen linked to Arsenal as well. I think he'd probably go to Arsenal, by the way, if they kind of get Felix. Would you take him at Newcastle Shakhtar? Because he's been on quality for me. He's been a cracking player. He's quick, direct, skillful. But Shakhtar Donetsk wants £80 million. But I think they're going to have to drop their prices to him, because that's too much.
Yeah, I haven't really seen a lot of him other than just highlight clips, because we're not exactly getting a lot of Shakhtar games over here. But
Fair enough.
I would have to. I'd really have to at that price. Like I said, I would have to see a lot more of them. You get to see more than I do. So, without knowing a lot about of the player, I would be hesitant at that price tag. But like I said, I'll leave that to my European friends to decide on that one.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And we've got one here for Napoli. Fantastic. Napoli could win the Champions League this season. So it's the Serie A title. That's only going to put the price off their players off even more. If that happens, you're absolutely right. That's the money is going to go up and up and up. Because I tell you what, De Laurentiis, the owner or the president of Napoli, he ain't an easy guy to deal with. I'm telling you, he wants the maximum profits. Look at Edison Cavani, 55 million quid, PSG, yeah? Gonzalo Higuain, 29. They fleeced Juve out of 72 million quid out of this guy. Do you know what I mean? 29-year-old. But I tell you something now, right? I mean, Napoli are very good at fleecing clubs. We don't want to be there as well. Not for me. Don't want to see us buying Mudryk for insane prices like that. You know what it is? 80 million is a lot of money. And Darno Sona, the Croatia right back, is a legend at club as well. Darno Sona. And I tell you something, right? I mean, he even said that they're going to have to break the club records to price him away from Dr. Donetsk. It's as simple as that. But I tell you what, he wants to come to the Premier League and he wants to play for Arsenal as well. He even said Arsenal Madrid. He said Arsenal all day long. But you know what it is what it is. So I think that's going to be it there. And, you know, just, I mean, it's your first time here. It's your first time, isn't it, man?
Oh, no, I've listened to you before.
I mean, you haven't come with my channel, though.
Oh, never. No, because Jesus, I'd probably be banned on most channels.
Wow, you're gonna have to come on. You're gonna have to come on when Tony is when Tony is here as well. I'll be great. Well,
whenever, just send me an invite.
Definitely,
like I say,
definitely, man.
I just sit around chilling all day. So
definitely, man, definitely. Maro, please hit the subscribe button, mate, if you can. Thank you very much indeed. I think it's your first time on the chat as well. 50 mil being written for Kasai. She lives ridiculous. No way Napoli would even consider selling for less than 100 mil. Maro, I'm with you, mate. I'm really with you, mate, because De Laurentiis is a difficult guy to negotiate, yeah? But 100 million euros, yeah? Probably 80 to 90 million quid, and they may even consider that. Until then, I don't think we're going anywhere soon, mate. So, Maro, I will worry about it, mate. But please hit that subscribe button, mate. That will be fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. We're definitely going to wrap up there. But, I mean, Jimmy, can you tell us where you can find you, please, on your socials, mate? Where people can find you?
Oh, I'm Twitter at Jimmy Moore 12, and I'm on Facebook, on Instagram. Instagram is Jimmy Moore 0470. Yeah, you definitely, you can always catch me on Twitter. I'm usually, having it out with somebody on there about something. So this week was American bacon versus English bacon, and that's just caused a big uproar. So it's always fun banter. So
fantastic stuff. Thank you very much indeed for that. And guys, if you like the video, like what you see, and please give it a like, hit the subscribe button as well, please, as well. And you can also use the thanks option as well if you want super chat. And when the show is over, and if you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. Just click on that as well, and then you can remember the links are there as well. And got one from scoring updates. Yeah, no, I like that. No one likes this. We don't care, mate. Thanks for that, man, and good luck for the rest of the season, the championship, by the way. But please hit the subscribe button as well. We do come on a regular basis, right? We've got Tony from as well, Black and White TV. You also got Rory Jenner as well. He's one of my co-hosts as well. I also have Macy on my show, Man United fan. Billy Tree also comes on. Paul. They all come on to my channel as well. So the boost my channel up as well. And hopefully I'm going to try and get Ben Jacobs again if I can get him on, or even Ron Barton too. So hopefully I can get one of those guys on next month about the transfer update as well. So there you go. Don't go away to have all the backstage, so I could be good news for you. But guys, thank you so much indeed. And I should be up to Newcastle against Bournemouth on Tuesday. So if you do see us, please check us out. Get an autograph if you want. And Toon is close to 200 subscribers. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much indeed. Don't go away. I'm going to put it in here. And thanks for watching. It's a goodbye.